Sure. So I thought we played good enough to win. It wasn't it wasn't always pretty, but in the end, when you score two touchdowns on defense, you're having a pretty good day on defense. So even though it wasn't as clean as we want, and we gave up a lot of explosives that we shouldn't have, overall we were good enough to get the win.
Chase, it's clearly, I'm sure you've dreamed about playing in games like this Saturday when you first decided to come to Utah State. So tell me what it's like for that dream to be a reality now.
When you come here, this is, in all reality, what you're here for is to play for a chance to go to the Mountain West Championship game. And so, looking at the game on Saturday, it's kind of all your aspirations and dreams coming to fruition as a player. You work really hard all year long for the opportunity that we have right in front of us. So it's really exciting, and I know for myself and all the other guys, we can't wait to play.
So could you take us through that last play at Colorado State and what you saw and what that next minute and a half was like after?
From what I saw was just them catching a Hail Mary. I didn't realize for a while that there was a flag on the ground, that they were discussing something on the field. It just seemed like I was curious as to what we were still doing on the field, just waiting around watching them celebrate. And then I realized that the officials were all together talking about something, and turns out he stepped out of bounds, and thank goodness he did.
So what was that turn of events?
It's hard to say, because you go from thinking everything that you've been working for just kind of came crashing down when you lose to Colorado State, and then it flips right around to you end up winning. It's hard to describe. The whole last half of the fourth quarter was just an absolute roller coaster of emotions. It was pretty crazy. I've never seen a game like that before, and I don't know if I ever will again.
Where were you at on the play when it ended?
I was on the sideline.
They've taken you out to put
Yeah,
in
we were in
more
a different
defensive backs and stuff?
Yep, we were in a different personnel package.
So you had to watch
I was just
sidelines
watching.
too.
So I had a very poor perspective on what was going on.
Okay.
Chase, that was about as physical as a game I think I've seen in quite a while. A lot of hitting going on. You were, of course, a major part of that, almost on every play. Was it as physical as a game as it sounded like? Just on the crowd effect, just there's a lot of hitting.
Yeah, when they got in a lot of heavier personnels and tried to run the ball at us, when it was the games that I particularly enjoy is when they start doing stuff like that. So, really fun, really love when they start to run the ball and you get to get in the trenches and hit. It was fun. Good game.
I feel like Colorado State was really going hard in this game, and even watching them the week before, they were a different team against you guys. Did you feel like you were getting their best shot, that they were really going all out?
Sure, and I think we anticipated that for a couple of reasons, being that it was their senior day. Obviously it's their last chance for their seniors to play at home, but also I think that their record is not really an indication of how good of a team they are. I feel like they struggled in the past, and it wasn't really anything we didn't expect. We went in there and we got a tough physical game, and it was a difficult win, and give them credit. They played really well, but in the end we got the victory, and that's all that really matters.
Chase, you've been here the whole time that David Woodward's been here.
Mm-hmm.
Played alongside of him. Tell us first off about how much he has improved this year, even.
Yeah.
What he's done.
David Woodward is a special player, probably one of the most talented players I've ever seen. Really mentally sharp, great instincts. But just kind of his physical development kind of caught up this year, and I think with all the other skills that he has, he's really just put it all together, and just a great player with 20 tackles. It's pretty incredible.
And then that's the next thing is he even close to scratching the surface of what we're going to see, do you think, for the next couple of years? You're leaving, but he's going to stay and take over your spot or
Sure.
play in your position. What do you think his limit is, or does he have a limit?
No limit. No, the kid is an absolute incredible football player in every sense of the word, and a great person. In my opinion, he's going to be a draft pick one day, just how good he is. Just an incredible player.
Could you feel how many, you and him looked like you were in almost every single tackle in this game, it seemed like. So that means, again, like you've talked about before, the guys up front are doing something to make
Yeah.
that happen, but you guys had to be around the ball all the time.
Sure. And that's one thing that me and him talk about all the time is we don't do anything unless the D-line is performing well. And it's funny, you don't really think about it during the game as far as like how many tackles or whatever, you're just trying to win. But it's funny, it seems like every time you're in a pile, David is somewhere in there involved in it.
Chase, what are the biggest keys for you guys defensively going into Boise this week and playing well against them?
As always, we got to stop the run. That's where we always start, and I don't think we did a good enough job last week, so we definitely have a lot to improve on. You know, and they've got good players, so we've got to bring our A game, and we know that. But I mean, I think we're excited for the challenge.
Then you also, against Colorado State, you did not get to the quarterback as much as you did against Hawaii and San Jose the weeks before. Maybe they did something to help make it that way, but obviously Boise's got to be looking at the same thing. They don't want Ribbon to get hit because when you've hit quarterbacks, they've had a tough time throwing the ball down the field.
Sure, it's a big part of what we try to do on defense, and when we're not getting to the quarterback, it puts a lot more pressure on our DBs, which I think really showed in the Colorado State game. So we've got to, look at the film and figure out what we did wrong and fix it. It's definitely something that we need to work on. And when we've played really well, that's something that we've done good is get to the quarterback.
Chase, every week we come to these, and you players and Coach Wells always say, want to know this week, and we're just focused on this week. But I'm sure Boise's been in the back of your mind for a while. How nice is it to just be able to focus on this game now?
I don't necessarily know if it has been in the back of our mind. Maybe just in that we've anticipated that if we're going to go to the championship game, it's going to have to go through Boise. But I mean, anytime you have a big game, it's almost nice to just focus on that. There's not really anything else going on. It's either we beat them and we go to the championship game, or we don't. So it's very cut and dry as to what we need to do. So there's not a lot of distraction besides that.
We started off the game not how we wanted to. Basically, you see from previous games, we started off fast, quick. I'm not going to say the weather had an effect on us from starting fast, but we had to, connect in the second half. We had to get it back together and get the offensive moving. And the line showed up big time. We had to open up some runs to get explosive plays, as well as big top catches from our outside receivers, which that's what triggered the offense. And us scoring down there. The O-line kept holding up the whole time, entire time. They didn't give up. I believe they didn't give up a sack, which is pretty good on the offensive end. But moving forward, we have a lot to work on. We still have to dial in more. It's just one game at a time after this.
Can you talk about the touchdown play, what you saw? Were you amazed that you're that open, all that kind of stuff?
I was only amazed about the play calling that Jordan called down to the red zone. I seen the coverage, and it was just the perfect call when he called it. So once I seen the signal, I just reacted, I tightened up, exploded off the ball even more, got my depth, and just looked up, and the ball was right there, and I had to make the finish. Well, I had to make the finish.
A minute 36 for you guys has to be like an eternity for how fast you guys go. Was that the conversation? Is look, we scored in less than a minute. That's what our offense is built for. Was there any sort of panic in that regard?
No, it wasn't no panic. Everybody stepped up. It was like, let's go. We already been here. We work on this every Wednesday. It's workday Wednesday, basically to us, a 2-minute drill. So everybody got down, snapped the ball, and got going.
Did it help the offense, do you think, that when they did kind of go more to the running game again eventually to kind of solidify everybody back into the game a little bit? Because, you guys were running off the field fast in a lot of ways when you'd either do something and then Colorado State take over the ball for another 5 or 6 minutes and something like that.
Yeah, like I said, we got two great running backs, G. Bright and Darron Thompson. It's a perfect twist to it because you don't know what you can get out of those two. And for them to step up like that, it helped us and brought energy to our outside receivers and our inside core to block for them even more, just to get more explosive plays.
Aaron, obviously you guys are, thrilled to get the win and everything, but when you go to the locker room after, what was the locker room mood like after just the crazy finish and how that game went?
Everybody looked at each other, had that one little shock moment, but then got excited because it's time to move on. We were just excited that we got the W.
That's a good answer. Just how valuable was it, Aaron, for you guys to get a feel for playing in those kind of conditions? Because you might face that again against Boise State on Saturday.
It was great in our part. I mean, receivers had to figure out how we was going to catch the ball in that type of weather, so we got the feel of it. I mean, I believe we had probably one drop, I believe, in the inside core, and not so many in the outside group. Jordan got the feel of how to throw the ball more. He know what to do now. He got a better understanding how to throw in that weather. So I think this game, this week coming forward, we just have a mindset of, okay, it's going to be cold. Let's just dial in a little more and focus. Get going.
What have you seen from Jordan this year that's made him a whole lot better, do you think, from the start, from where he was last year?
He got more mature, more wise. He wanted more, I can say. Since day one, since he came in last year and came in and got the starting position, I knew he was going to be great. I mean, as you can see from the previous plays that he's been doing so far that he's been here, it's been excellent to me. I mean, he's comfortable in the pocket, he's trusting his linemen, and he's trusting his receiver core, and that's just a great feeling.
You played against this Boise team before, yeah. I mean, what makes this defense so tough?
I wouldn't say it's not necessarily so tough. I mean, it's just us being consistent with our plays, making every catch, breaking every run. Everybody doing their job, basically. It's really on us. We have so many weapons that can do a lot of damage to a lot of defensive teams, and it's just up on us to just do our jobs.
Did you guys watch the Boise game Friday night as a team? Kind of sit around and watch it a little bit, or
a little bit. Some of us did. Some of us went in the other room, got stretched, and watched movies and stuff. But most of the team was watching the Boise game.
And they kind of really, their defense clamped down in the second half against
Yeah.
New Mexico, didn't they?
Yeah, they did.
I mean, it looks like they got rush. They can play the pass. They can do it all.
Yeah. It's just coming up to this week. I mean, it's down to preparations. We're just going to trust the preparation and keep going. I mean, we see what they can do, but we know what we can do. We just have to keep believing in ourselves.
So are you excited to have a game like this?
I'm very excited.
Has this been circled? I mean, as Chase was asked earlier, you guys were always talking about 1-0, but in the back of your head, I mean, was this ever a game that was circled on your calendar, knowing that what this game could eventually mean?
I mean, yes and no. Yes, meaning is Boise State. I mean, we lost them last year, and we need this W this year. So, I'll say the no part to where, I mean, we're not gonna perk her up or, oh, this is a big game. Everybody, I wouldn't say freak out, but I believe everybody's going to be really ready for this game. Everybody's ready. They've been knowing that this was coming, but it's just on the bigger stage now. So they just got to go out there and play.
No shaken confidence for the offense after that game, for this game, right?
Right.
Okay.
Really proud of our players from Saturday afternoon's game in Fort Collins. Tremendous amount of resiliency. It was a game where we did not play our best in any of the three phases. I thought we played pretty well in all three, and we did some good stuff. And we also played poor enough, probably in all three, to deserve to lose it. But, you know, offensively, we didn't turn the ball over. Bad weather game. Took care of the football. You know, the last two series of the game, when we needed it most, we drove down for a field goal and we drove down for a touchdown, and it looked like the usual offense. You know, red zone, we didn't play very good. You know, we had 3 trips in there and kicked 3 field goals, which is a nice job by Dominic, who I thought was an outstanding performer in those conditions and the weather conditions and kicking. But you got to come away with touchdowns, and we didn't do that. And when you don't do that, you put yourself in a position that puts the game in the balance. Defensively, we gave up too many explosives in the pass game and the run game. Ton of yards, some of the most we've given up all year, but we had 2 touchdowns, and you can't ignore that. You had a 4th down stop, and so those were all big plays. Special teams, I already mentioned Dominic, 3 field goals in those conditions. He was lights out, kicking it off, and I thought he did a really, really good job. There's some things to clean up in special teams. We gave up a fake on the punt, which we've got to shore all the responsibilities up, because it wouldn't surprise me to see Boise do a fake early in the game. We got to clean up some stuff on kickoff return. We had some poor alignments that will open the floodgates in the next few games if we don't get it corrected. We didn't punt the ball very well. We got to perform a little bit better there. But saying all that, I have continually told our players, and especially during training camp, we've talked about this, and I've given some examples in the years past, to keep yourself and to get yourself in a position to win a championship. There's going to be a time or two where you go on the road in this league and you don't play your best, you don't have your A game, and you got to find a way to come out of it with a win. And honestly, it's exactly what we did. And something I talked to the captains about this morning, I was reminded of it last night as I drove home. Late last night, I was thinking of my grandpa. My late grandpa was a head golf pro in Tulsa for many years. He used to say to me, "Al, you'll like this golf analogy," but I remember one time as a young kid, I parred a hole, must have been pretty easy, and it was ugly. Hit one, wasn't real good, and I think I was complaining about it, and he said to me, "Matthew," he said, "put your par down, okay, and go to the next hole. Put your ball in your pocket and go to the next hole." And, part of that analogy and part of the explanation from my grandpa was this. It doesn't matter if you hit one, could go out of bounds, come back in, slap a chip shot up there and have two putt par, and have to drain one a little ways away, maybe an 8-footer for par, versus a beautiful drive, phenomenal chip, okay, and you lip out a birdie putt, and then you tap in for par. The analogy is you put a par down and you go to the next hole. The other comment he always made to me, and it always stuck with me, he said, "Matthew, there's a box on this golf scorecard. You put the number in the box. There's not enough room for a paragraph. You don't write a paragraph. You don't analyze it. You don't write all the good or all the bad. You just put the score down and you move. You know what? We won. Move on." And that's it. And that's what I told our captains. And I said, that's as good of an analogy as I can give you. It doesn't matter. Put the par down and move on. We won round 7. Now we're on to round 8, and we have a chance to compete for a division championship, which is exactly where we want to be. And, man, our guys are excited, and we'll have a great week of practice and look forward to playing, Boise. And this is typical Boise. Very strong team, very tough. A ton of respect for Brian Harsin, a ton of respect for that staff, all 3 coordinators, in all 3 phases for them. Guys have been with them for a long time. We've competed against them, and I've got a lot of respect for them. Rippin's one of the best quarterbacks to ever play in this conference. I mean, what a compliment. It's true. Just look at his numbers. They got wideouts that can hurt you. Madison's the next running back. I mean, this running back, I think I can honestly say he's the best one we've seen all year, and our defensive staff thinks so. Starting with game 1 all the way to now, he's the best one we've seen all year. The 2 edge rushers, Weaver, Frazier, I mean, are you kidding me? They start for probably 3 quarters, I don't know, the whole Pac-12, but my goodness, they're Power 5 players. They're big time. They're really good players. They've given us headaches. Tyler inside is a veteran, really good inside linebacker. Both corners, Avery Williams, Tyler Horton are solid players, really good players. And then Kikoa makes, number 10, the safety, makes all the plays. He's everywhere. So I know too much about them. Yeah, I mean, you know a lot about them because we play them every year, and they've got veterans and. Yeah, they've got a couple injuries on defense. You know what? So do the Utah State Aggies. We got a couple injuries, and so it's just that time of the year, and both teams have to overcome it, and it'll be a great matchup. So, with that, go ahead and open up for questions. And Al, you want to start us off?
I was just wondering, after games where it is kind of put away in some of these, what's the? I mean, emotionally, how do you feel after a game like Saturday? Is that a total different deal?
Yeah,
to go
yeah.
through?
Mhm.
I mean,
Yeah, it's different.
You feel
Yeah.
like you played? Do you feel like you've put a lot more? You and the team.
I don't feel like our players do physically. I'm drained. You're drained emotionally. I mean, all the lead changes. Take the lead, go down, take the lead, and then look up and see a 4 and 0-0-0, and arms up in the air. Yeah, I mean, your heart sinks, and then you're given a little hope, and then the call's made, and which is the correct call. And I applaud them. I mean, had the courage to make the correct call. That's an administrative call that is correct to make, and they made it.
When did you know they were going to make the call?
Well, pretty soon after it happened, I got word, hey, hang tight, keep your team on the sidelines.
I can see that.
Yeah, and so I backed them up, and we stood there and waited, and I got alerted to that they were looking at an illegal touching, and I just had one question, and I said, was there a hat thrown? And when they told me yes, I knew they couldn't pick it up, so.
Coach, obviously that's not how you're going to script a game if you're writing it out. But how good was it for your team to face some adversity?
I think it was absolutely great. I mean, now we've faced two of those kind of games. Air Force in some ways was the same kind of game. One possession game early in the fourth quarter where we have to get 2 fourth quarter stops and a touchdown in between to win the game against Air Force. And we've gone over Wyoming a few times, and here's another one. And you know what? I'm proud of our guys. I'm really proud of them. Again, the resiliency and the ability to overcome some adversity. You lose Fortenberry early in the game, and you got some things that happen in special teams against us that weren't real good on our side. And it's a great way to win. I mean, bad weather game and handled it well, and we just continue to fight, and you find a way to win. And, we've lost a decent amount of those games in the last couple of years. So, I'm happy for our guys.
It's probably too early to ask this, but
Then don't ask it.
well, I still feel like I should. Is there any chance that we're going to see Deontay the rest of the season?
No, he's out for the year. Yep.
With that, I mean, you've lost a few guys in the secondary so far this
Yeah.
season. How do you approach this Boise State team with big, strong wide receivers, and how you try and slow them down?
Yeah, man, I don't. We got some DBs. We got a really good defense. I think we got to play better all around them. I think our D line's going to have to play a little bit better. Our linebackers going to have to play a little bit better. Our offense is going to have to play well. And it's next man up. It's a. I'm not going to give you everything, but there's a lot of no-name defense. Kind of a mentality with our guys. It's not about one guy. It's not about one hero, one superstar. And obviously, David Woodward can't get the Mountain West Player of the Week again, and so apparently he's not going to continue to get that. So we'll continue to be a no-name defense, and that's perfectly fine for those guys. And we'll have another guy or two step up in the secondary, and I'm confident that our coaches will have them well prepared, and I think they'll be challenged, and I think they'll go out and play well.
Just didn't seem like you hit Hill as much at quarterback as you'd hit McDonald, the San Jose guys the week before. Now, maybe Colorado State did something to do that, but that makes a lot of difference to pass defense, too.
Sure. Well, I mean, Colorado State ran it 41 times, so they're going to try to take the air out of the ball a little bit. I think the weather played into that. So I think you got that. That kind of game plan. They played in a lot more 12, 21, and 22 big people. They played in some two-back and kept 7 guys in there to protect against our outside guys, and which limits them in obviously in your routes. And so, I think they did some things to try to help them in terms of that.
I mean, just how impressive is it for a guy to get 20 tackles on a slick? I was on the field at the end of the game. It was pretty slick out there.
Yeah, you know what? The field actually got slicker as the game went on. I mean, there was a little bit more precipitation late in the game and a little icy snow, kind of. And guys were sliding around. The footing was tough. And I thought David Woodward played outstanding. He has for the last month. The guy's tough. The guy's consistent. And the guys around him are playing good. I mean, that's a reflection of our D-line, too. I can't give enough credit to Chris Unga, Fualelua, Adewale Adoye, Dalton Baker, Jacoby Wildman, Caden Anderson played a lot more this week. I mean, those 6 guys up front played very well. And anytime your linebacker plays like that, then those guys up front play well.
Give us some specifics then about Rippon. He had his nightmare game against you guys one year, and then, the next year I remember it was just kind of a neutral offensive game in a lot of ways. It was kind of neither team. They scored on a trick play, I remember.
Yeah, 2016 you're talking about? Yeah, 2016.
But then, last year he came in and threw the ball around a little bit.
Yep. I'm telling you what, he can pick you apart in zone. He is an accurate passer. He's not a thrower. He can pass it. He's very accurate. Obviously he's been in that system for a long time, so I think he anticipates very well. He knows you can see him go the backside of his reads, and he does a good job with his eyes, looking off safeties. He's got a lot of savvy, a lot of mojo. I guess I would assume he's really fun to coach for Brian and Zach to coach him, and I think he's tough, man. I mean, I see him get knocked down, he gets back up. He is a tough dude. He's their guy. He's a leader, and he's one of the best to ever play in this league.
Is Jordan a similar type of quarterback to him, would you say?
Well, they're a little different physically. Jordan's pretty big. But I think there's some similar characteristics where you can see both quarterbacks on film going through their reads, and they can skip 1 and 2 real quick and get to 3 and 4 because they see a coverage dictate that or something. And I think Jordan's really improved his touch and his accuracy, and certainly Rippon has played a lot longer and a lot more and been very consistent. And so I think that's a great compliment as a quarterback is your consistency.
Is it a fair statement to say this Boise State offense is the most balanced offense you will face this season?
I think that's an accurate statement, very accurate statement. Jason, I haven't thought about it when you compare it against the other 11 opponents. Yeah, they're very balanced. I mean, from their run game to the passing game, they're balanced. But I tell you what, they're also I think they're dynamic. I mean, you're going to see shift motion trade, multiple tight ends. Then you're going to see 4 wides, and then you're going to see empty. You're going to see fly to empty. You're going to see empty fly back into the backfield. I mean, you're going to see some pace. It's a dynamic offense.
Coach, you've been saying for years the road to the championship goes through Boise, and now it literally goes through Boise.
No.
And I mean, is it in any way tough to keep the team grounded, and that this is just one more game?
It's round 8. It's round 8. It's a chance to win a division championship. You got to win your division before you get in the championship game. So, obviously, the goal for us, Boise, a couple, I guess it could be 3 teams on the West is the goal's still out there to win the Mountain West, and I'm sure that's their goal. Start the season just like it is our goal. But that game's not this weekend. This weekend is round 8 to see who can win, basically your Mountain Division, and then whoever wins gets to host. And so I think our guys know that. They know that. I mean, this isn't the championship game. It's a big game. Yeah, it's a big game because both teams have made it a big game. So respect to both teams, the way I look at it. And it's a big game because both teams have put themselves in a position to win the Mountain.